Hello friends, welcome to the Cosmopolitical Journals and I am Anand. In this video, we would try to understand what G20 is and how it works. So firstly, let's talk about the background and the framework structure of G20. So as far as the inception of G20 is concerned, it was founded in the year 1999 after the Asian financial crisis to serve as a forum for the finance ministers and central bank governors of member states to discuss global economic and financial issues. But later on, it was being upgraded to the level of heads of states and governments in the wake of the global economic and financial crisis of 2007. But it was in the year 2009 when it was designated as the premier forum for international economic cooperation. Now let's talk about G20's calendar. So the G20 Summit is held annually under the leadership of a rotating presidency. And currently, as you know, India holds its presidency from December 1st, 2022 till November 30th, 2023. Now let's talk about the objectives of G20 as well. So the focus of G20 is enlarged to a great degree since its inception, which is a great sign of its growing relevance and dynamism. As initially G20 focused largely on broad macroeconomic issues, but it has since expanded its agenda to include trade, sustainable development, health, agriculture, energy, environment, climate change, and anti-corruption, among other things as needed. The G20 presidency, which currently is India, is responsible for bringing together the G20 agenda in consultation with other members and in response to developments in the global economy. Now let's have a look on its membership structure. So as the name suggests, this is a group of 20 member entities, that is G20, and comprises of 19 countries plus one regional organization, including Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, United Kingdom, and United States of America, along with European Union as its 20th member. The G20 members represent around 85% of the global GDP, over 75% of the global trade, and about 2/3 of the world population. Furthermore, to understand G20's structural dynamics better, one should know these points as well. Number 1. G20 is the premier forum for international economic cooperation, and it plays an important role in shaping and strengthening global architecture and governance on all major international economic issues. Second, the G20 does not have a permanent secretariat or staff. Third, instead, the G20 presidency rotates annually among the members and is selected from a different regional grouping of countries. Fourth, the 19 member countries are therefore divided up into 5 groups comprising a maximum of 4 countries each. Most of the groups are formed on a regional basis, that is, countries from the same region are usually put in the same group. Also, only Group 1 and Group 2 do not follow this pattern of regional basis. For example, Group 1 includes Australia, Canada, Saudi Arabia, and the United States, whereas Group 2 includes India, Russia, South Africa, and Turkey. So these two groups do not follow this pattern. Next, Group 3 includes Argentina, Brazil, and Mexico. Group 4 includes France, Germany, Italy, and United Kingdom. And Group 5 includes China, Indonesia, Japan, and Republic of Korea. However, the European Union, which is the 20th member, is not a member of any of these regional groups. And each year, another country from a different group assumes the G20 presidency. And the countries in a group are each entitled equally to take on the presidency when it is their group's turn. Hence, India from Group 2 holds the current presidency of the G20 from 1st December 2022 to 30th November 2023 as being told earlier. Now, next point, the G20 presidency is responsible for bringing together the G20 agenda in consultation with other members and in response to developments in the global economy. To ensure continuity, the presidency is supported by a troika made up of the current host along with the immediate past and the next host countries. Now, during India's presidency, the members of the G20 Troika are Indonesia, India, and Brazil. Also, along with the member countries, there is a tradition of inviting the guest countries and notable international organizations to participate in the G20 meetings and summits. So this time, India has invited Bangladesh, Egypt, Mauritius, the Netherlands, Nigeria, Oman, Singapore, Spain, and UAE as guest countries during its G20 presidency. For guest international organizations, India has invited ISA, that is International Solar Alliance, CDRI, that is Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, and ADB, that is Asian Development Bank. And along with these guest international organizations, there are some international organizations which are a regular invitee in G20 summits. And these international organizations are United Nations, International Monetary Fund, World Bank, World Health Organization, World Trade Organization, International Labour Organization, FSB, that is Financial Stability Board, and OECD, that is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, along with the chairs of regional organizations like African Union and ASEAN. Also, there is a tradition of appointing a G20 Sherpa, and for those who don't know about this term, let me define it for you. So a Sherpa is the personal representative of a head of a state or head of government for an international summit, such as the annual G7 or G20 summits, and India has appointed Shri Amitabh Kant as its Sherpa for the current G20 summit. Now let's have a look over the general workings of G20. So G20 work is basically divided under tracks or main groups having various subgroups under them, and these tracks or main groups are namely number 1 Sherpa track, number 2 finance track. So Sherpa track deals with socio-economic issues such as agriculture, anti-corruption, climate change, digital economy, education, employment, energy, environment, health, tourism, trade, and investment. Also, this track is further being subdivided into working groups, namely Agriculture Working Group, Anti-Corruption Working Group, Culture Working Group, Development Working Group, Digital Economy Working Group, Disaster Risk Reduction Working Group, Education Working Group, Employment Working Group, Energy Transition Working Group, Environment and Climate Sustainability Working Group, Health Working Group, Tourism Working Group, and Trade and Investment Working Group. Now further, as far as the second track or second main group called as finance track is concerned, it is headed by the finance ministers and central bank governors of member states, who generally meet 4 times a year, with 2 meetings being held on the sidelines of World Bank and International Monetary Fund meetings. Now its focus areas belong to fiscal and monetary policy issues such as the global economy, infrastructure, financial regulation, financial inclusion, international financial architecture, and international taxation. And it is being further divided into the sub-working groups and work streams, and these are namely Framework Working Group, International Financial Architecture Working Group, Infrastructure Working Group, Sustainable Finance Working Group, Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion, Joint Finance and Health Task Force, International Taxation Issues, Financial Sector Issues. So friends and dear students, this event is really very important as far as the global roadmap of the economic development of the world at large is concerned. So do have a close watch on this mega event, and I sincerely hope that we may hear about some concrete and long-awaited decisions being finalized in the G20 summit vis-a-vis the challenges being faced by global economy in these testing times of post-COVID pandemic era. And also, before ending this video, I would like to thank the Honorable Government of India for providing the detailed literature focused on G20 itself on public platforms so that the knowledge quotient of common people might be enhanced in this regard. Hence, I am giving the link in description below. Please check it out for a better clarity on this subject matter. Thanks for listening in. I, Anand, would meet you in our next episode. Till then, keep learning and have a nice day.